What's up? Welcome back. Today we are in chapter 6 of Proverbs, and the title of the text is The Wicked Devise Mischief, starting in verse 1. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth, thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Verse 1 through 2. To be surety is to pledge oneself as a guarantee for another's debt. If the debtor defaulted, the son would have to pay or be liable to seizure. Stricken thy hand probably refers to a gesture that made it official in Ruth 4:7-8. An ancient equivalent of shaking hands or signing a contract. To risk one's asset and reputation for a friend is inadvisable, much less for a stranger. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself when thou art come into the hand of thy friend. Go, humble thyself, and make sure thy friend. Verse 3. The son should plead with or make sure his neighbor incessantly to be released from the security agreement. The word translated humble thyself could also be translated weary yourself. Give not sleep to thy eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. Verse 4. Sleep and slumber when a person should be working leads to ruin. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Verse 5. This fowler is one who hunts birds in Psalms 91:3, Jeremiah 5:26, and Hosea 9:8. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Verse 6. A sluggard is a lazy person who hopes to sustain his life without actually working. He literally refuses to lift a hand. He makes excuses not to work. The slacker has brought his poverty on himself and is not an object of pity, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer and gathered her food in the harvest. Verse 7-8. These verses describe harvester ants that store grain in their nests. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Verse 9. Asking how long generally implies that something bad has been going on for too long. In Exodus 10:3 and Psalms 74:10. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, and a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. Verse 11. Poverty in this context is destitution brought on oneself. The traveler may be a vagabond or a drifter. The armed man is literally a man with a shield, an armed man. His attack is sudden and unexpected. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. Verse 12. The Hebrew word for Belial is naughty. It identifies as a troublemaker who rebels against all good and godly authority in 2 Chronicles 13:7 and Job 34:18. Belial is also translated wicked in many places like Deuteronomy 13:13, 1 Samuel 2:12, and 2 Samuel 20:1. This worthless person is described in verse 12-14, and Belial became a synonym for Satan in 2 Corinthians 6:15. He winketh with his eyes, he speaks with his feet, he teaches with his fingers. Verse 13. This body language was apparently conspiratorial or deceptive in Isaiah 58:9. He literally compresses his eyes, shuffles his feet, and throws in his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He devises mischief. Continually he soweth discord. Verse 14. To sow discord is to spread dissension and strife in Jeremiah 15:10. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Verse 15. Suddenly implies surprise. The repetition further emphasizes the speed of destruction in Isaiah 29:5-6 and Jeremiah 4:20. These 6 things does the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Verse 17. Proud is literally raised high. It describes proud people who deny God's authority in 2 Kings 19:22, Psalms 18:27, and Isaiah 10:12. And a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief. Verse 18. At the center of this list is the wicked heart, a false witness that speak lies, and he that soweth discord among the brethren. Verse 19.
To be a false witness and to speak lies are the same. The two expressions are used for clarity.
My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Verse 25.
Sexual sin often begins with visual stimulation and eye contact. In James 1:14-16. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
Verse 26.
This verse is difficult to understand. It may mean that the one who goes to a prostitute will eventually be left with only a piece of bread, or that the one who goes to a prostitute is merely a meal ticket for her. This is not an excuse for prostitution in 1 Corinthians 6:15-20, but it illustrates the terrible penalty of adultery by the way of comparison. The adulteress will destroy someone's life.
Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent. Verse 27-29.
These verses illustrate the inevitability of punishment.
Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. Verse 30-33.
A thief is guilty of a crime and must pay a severe penalty, but if there is mitigating circumstances, he does not totally lose the respect of the community. Sevenfold is not literal here, but is an expression that implies he must pay the full penalty from twice to 5 times what he stole in Exodus 22:1 and in Luke 19:8. An adulterer, on the other hand, suffers punishment plus complete permanent reproach.
For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content though thou givest many gifts. Verse 34-35.
While a court can be satisfied when a fine is paid, a jealous man can never be satisfied. Verse 35a can be translated, he will not look favorably on any kind of ransom. The bribes are gifts with strings attached to subvert justice.